and Brownie,
the podcast.
Morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your Tuesday.
Good morning, guys. How are you, Dino?
We hate to talk about weather, I know, but isn't it lovely to be so hot? I'm just loving it.
I'd love to be out playing golf at the moment, Swanee, but I've hurt me back, so it's been frustrating.
You've got to rest. I'm going to have a rest day today and just enjoy the sunshine. Yesterday, I walked Brighton, all of Brighton.
Oh, did you?
You're like Tony Martin walking the streets of Melbourne.
I know.
Street by
It's
street.
nice. It's nice to get out of your normal zone. But guess who slid into my DMs to say, "But have you done all of Brighton?"
Shane Warne.
The original Karen from Brighton.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, nice.
Yes, she did.
She's still going.
I think she's living in Queensland now.
Wow.
Yeah, she's doing all of the Sunshine Coast.
All the bogans up
apparently.
there.
Yeah.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
ready to hit the road this summer? It's time to What If It.
Visit whatif.com to plan and book your accommodation, flights, activities, even car hire.
Plus, select hotels are fully refundable. Booking cancellation windows apply.
What if? It's Aussie for travel. Check government advisories before booking and travel.
You know what's going on with Simon Goodwin?
Tropical stuff. I did hear some whispers about this early last year, Swanee. So 2021, the year of the demon, of course. But on the eve of the season, there was talk. There was some movement behind the scenes that they were questioning Simon Goodwin's role in the football club as the senior coach. They were worried about his some of his behaviour, Swanee, some behavioural issues.
What?
Well, it was raised by a doctor as well, who put in a claim against the club for unlawful dismissal. But there was rumours and innuendo and a lot of stories going around that, some of his behaviour, like out drinking with the players, gambling. There was an issue on an online fan forum where he had a medical episode throughout that early last year. So
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
A medical episode?
well, whether he fainted or he showed up or he was a little bit dishevelled during the fan forum, I'm not sure. So anyway, Michael Warner has written a big article, double-page spread in the Herald Sun today, detailing all this. And it all comes from the doctor of 8 years, the Melbourne Demons. Felt like he was unlawfully dismissed. He was there for 8 years. His name was Zishan Aran. And obviously he put some complaints forward to the club about Simon Goodwin, about some of his behaviour, some bullying issues as well, Swanee. And it went to board level, and it was discussed at board level.
Very serious.
Yeah, it was. And I did hear rumours about this, but it's all just come out on the paper. And there was an emergency meeting in February last year with Glenn Bartlett, who was the president of the Melbourne Football Club, and a Zoom meeting with Richard Gogue, the chairman of the AFL, and Gillon McLaughlin.
Wow.
And some of the things that Gillon...
Just a moment's silence for one of the most unfortunate surnames, Goiter.
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 With a D, Goide.
But still,
Goiter.
it just, brings up images of giant pulsating lumps on the neck.
Now, during this meeting, McLaughlin detailed his own knowledge of Goodwin's drinking and gambling at Sorrento Hotel and encouraged Bartlett to remove the coach.
Is that Jack Charles or Simon
Jackie
Goodwin?
Charles, He would have seen it going on. Yeah, it was
You have you?
a fair bit of it going on. Apparently sitting around...
what's the problem here? Is that unbecoming for a coach?
This is what... Hang on, I'll just say what Gil said. I know for a fact your coach is out drinking with players at the Sorrento pub. Are you crazy? That doesn't work, McLaughlin said. Hanging out with his players, drinking and betting, it's just the wrong behaviour. There has to be enough distance. You don't need to respect him and like him. You need to respect him and like him. You don't have to love him, but respect him. You can't be doing that shit. You have to make tough decisions. It doesn't work. So that was from Gil McLaughlin.
Maybe it does work. They're the premier.
They went on to win the premiership.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So it's a big story. I think what has helped the Melbourne Football Club, Alan Richardson come along, a good family man, former coach of St Kilda, and Choco Williams, another former ex-coach, Port Adelaide premiership winning coach. They came in to support Simon Goodwin throughout the year, and it seemed to be a pretty stable environment and worked pretty well. Goody enjoys a good time. He enjoys a good time as most people do over the journey. He enjoys a beer and a punt and all those sorts of things. He did have some punting issues back years ago, Swanee, but Looks like now at the end of the day, he's come out and he's won the premiership, so Melbourne will be proven to be correct.
What is your personal opinion about all this fracas?
Fracas,
brouhaha.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it seems to have been dealt with because Gary Pert, the CEO of Melbourne,
Purdy, one of the greats,
and Glenn Bartlett, they confronted Goody about his behaviour in February of last year, and he sort of played it down. Goodwin played it down and said, no, not a problem here. So things moved on, and obviously nothing happened. At the end of the day, the president of Melbourne, he ended up getting the flick about a month later. So I'm not sure whether this had anything to do with it, but it's an explosive story.
Yeah.
However, Melbourne went on to win the premiership.
Yeah.
So winning wallpapers over the crack, Swanee. Wallpapers over everything. So
Jonathan, is the story here Goody was having some issues, he straightened up, the end, everything's good?
Probably, yeah. So it was in the AFL circles, these rumours going around, these stories, and it was from good, credible sources, which has obviously been proven to be correct. But at the end of the day, he was obviously able to maybe straighten up. They had a great year. He coached really well, and they won the premiership. So they'll be able to move on and go forward. But it is some salacious details, and it's always a story to get people's attention.
Of course.
One more thing. Why now? Why is this out now?
Well, obviously he's just been Michael Warner's just been able to get some of the claims from this doctor, and obviously he's been able to get it on paper and some of the recordings of various meetings. So there you go. There's a little story for you today.
Very interesting.
This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast. Robert Clarence Irwin. You may have seen him on an episode of Bluey or Free Willy 4, Escape from Pirates Cove. Or him and his whole family in Crikey, It's the Irwins. And you can watch season 4 of Crikey, It's the Irwins on Saturdays at 6:30pm on Animal Planet. And this month is Irwin Month on Animal Planet as well. Here's Robert.
Oh, Robert Irwin, my favourite Irwin. Welcome to the show.
G'day. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
It is such a thrill for me to be talking to you. I was at the Crocodile late last year, and I saw you doing the crocodile show, and it was amazing.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. That means the world. No, I have the absolute best time. I love every aspect of living at a zoo is awesome, but feeding the crocodiles, it doesn't get much better than that. It's absolutely makes my day, and I'm so glad that you got to experience that. That's awesome.
What about, was there a recent episode of Crikey, was it where Casper the crocodile, you were feeding him and he walked straight past the food, mate. He looked like you were a better meal to him.
Mate, that's it. Yeah. That was an interesting one. That's actually the finale of the show is something that was a pretty sticky situation, actually. I can confirm, spoiler alert, I did survive. I mean, I'm talking to you now, so sorry about that. But yeah, it was definitely pretty crazy. Casper is one of the newest crocs in our Crocoseum, a big auditorium where we can educate people about crocodiles. And we are one of the only places really that we really try to replicate that natural behavior. So instead of throwing a piece of meat in there for them and, watching them swim over and grab it, we want to be in the enclosure with them, getting them to strike out of the water. This is something Dad was really passionate about. So good for the crocs, but also for the guests to come in and experience these guys in all their glory, see all of those predatory instincts firsthand. But, mate, you get into some dicey situations. And in this season, there was a point that the cameras were rolling on something that was pretty exciting. Casper comes out of the water, puts on 2 massive lunges, like right at me head. And then I've got a big piece of food and I throw it to him, hoping he's going to grab it. Exactly what you said. He looks right past it, right at me, and puts on this huge chase. And I'm thinking, oh no. And it was the only time ever that I've had to just go, nah, bail. I had to call it. We just ran and had to bail out of the enclosure. You can't have an ego. You got to know when it's too close, and that was too close.
Wow.
Yeah, he's keen. Up here, mate. Jeez, he's keen. Oh, that was great. Yeah, I'm going to throw this at him. Go, bail, bail, bail. Bail, bail, bail.
Hey, Robert, have you seen the flaming shit show that is the Tiger King?
To be honest, mate, I have not I even watched it all the way through. It's just too much for me. I think it'd just make me so sad. Like, it's just, it's a really crazy situation. It's crazy that stuff like this even happens in this day and age. You know, it's wild. You know, I think we need to support zoological facilities that are doing things well, that are legitimate, that are run well and are supporting conservation. But something like this, some just wacky little roadside zoo, it's just, it's an absolute circus. It's just ridiculous.
Gotcha.
Now, Robert, I did mention earlier that I made the pilgrimage, and it was a pilgrimage to Australia Zoo in Birwa earlier on, late last year, and it was specifically for my daughter, who is obsessed with you, your dad, your family, wildlife.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you.
She's got a blow-up crocodile that she wrangles in the garden. My favourite thing, and I love watching her do it because she does a fantastic impersonation of you. And your dad, and she's so into it. But my favourite was when she was freestyling and I just heard her from the backyard go, "Terry, get the rope."
That is classic.
For Christmas, all she wanted was like a limited edition collage photo of your dad and crocodiles, and she got it, and it's next to her bed. I mean, she's just absolutely obsessed. So when I said to her that I had the opportunity to interview you, she said, "Can I ask him some questions?" And I said, "Of course." Oh, my God, this is perfect. So I recorded. She was too nervous to speak to you one-on-one.
No worries.
She sat at the kitchen table yesterday and she wrote these questions without any help from Google. These are all off the top of her head.
Wow.
I know. And she wrote 10 and then she whittled them down to the big 5.
Nice.
And so, Robert Irwin, will you do a tight 5 with my daughter?
I would be honoured.
Tight 5.
What's your most dangerous encounter?
What is your most dangerous encounter?
My most dangerous encounter? Well, with an animal, it was probably... Oh, there's so many to pick from. Probably having to do a health check on a king cobra that was very, very grumpy.
Like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I thought you were going to say when I stole Skittles from the corner store when I was a kid.
Who is the most aggressive out of Graham, Monty, Bosco, Agro, or Casper?
I wanted her to throw in Bindi there. I wanted her to go, or your sister Bindi. But she's like, no, he won't laugh.
That's classic. Wow. Well, first of all, she really knows her Australia Zoo crocodiles.
Yes.
That is amazing. Okay, out of that list, I would have to say that title goes to Bosco, for sure.
Fantastic.
He's the crankiest crocodile.
Here we go.
How did it feel when you wrangled your first rattlesnake?
Oh, it felt really amazing. It was scary, exciting, and a huge adrenaline rush. Plus, it was an absolute honour because it was a lifelong dream to see a rattlesnake in the wild and to get to experience them firsthand. I can't even put it into words. It was breathtaking.
Love this guy. You can't not
he's the
love this
best.
guy.
I know, he's the best.
Do you ever grab a snack at Crikey Cafe?
Yes, every morning. And the team at Crikey Cafe don't particularly like me because I sneak in before anything's open and I just raid the cabinets of food and just gorge feed. And then everyone comes in and goes, where's, they're doing stock take and they're missing half of their croissants. So that's me. Yep.
Finally.
Do you live in a private place in the zoo?
Yes, that is true. We actually live right in the middle of the zoo. So our house is on zoo property. We wake up to the sound of tigers roaring right in our backyard. It's pretty awesome.
Man, you've got the magic that your old man had.
Yeah.
You're so infectious.
Oh, thanks, mate. Those are wonderful questions. Please pass on a massive thank you to her. They were very good questions. And anytime you guys want to come into the zoo, you're always welcome. If you want to come feed a crocodile, anything like that, let me know.
Oh, my God. We'll see you next week, Robert.
You haven't got a temporary dance floor there. You're not practicing for Dancing with the Stars US. It's a little rumour going on.
Struth, mate. I don't know how wide can you make this camera? Yeah. No.
The tango.
I'd give it a go. I definitely would. Can't promise if I'd be any good.
Watch Crikey. It's the Irwin. Season 4 on Saturdays at 6:30 on Animal Planet. It's also Irwin month throughout February on Animal Planet. That was fun, man. See you soon.
Great to see you. Thanks, guys.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
Recently single Shawn Mendes. I broke up with Camila Cabello.
For real?
Yeah, photos have surfaced of him really pulling out all the stops for peace. For mental peace. You know, we have all submitted ourselves to
some
bits
weird
and bobs
stuff that goes on.
to make ourselves feel better. He's there with a shaman, a sexy shaman, having plant medicine blown up his nose by a woman with long tresses and a pair of bicycle shorts.
Plant medicine blown up your nose. What's that like, Dana?
Feels great, man. You got to try it.
Well, apparently it it fixes your mind. It's a meditation session. They chatted over coffee. He was sitting cross-legged and she had a pipe up his nose where she was breathing all sorts of burnt leaves and bark. And it just reminded me of the first time I ever had a massage, seeking that inner peace. And I was completely nude.
Was it with a sexy shaman?
No, it was with a sexy Balinese woman. And I didn't know at that time that you could, say, no, I'm not comfortable with that, or I am comfortable with that. So at one point I was sitting up, completely nude, boobs out, and she was gently massaging my boobs. And I...
That's kind.
Yeah, well, it was an awkward moment. And I didn't have the words to say, I'm not comfortable with this. So I just went into, when you just sort of go, you flatline and you go, if I can survive this, if I can just put every sort of mental barrier out of my mind, I will survive it. And I was just looking up out of a window in the top corner of the ceiling, just waiting for it to be over.
Yuck.
So, that's why I walk now for mental health.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
Oh, the temperature is rising outside and inside. Why don't we pop the cork off a bottle of Champagne?
You lost a bit of momentum there. And it's really not the same. If anything, it's cooler in here due to the air conditioning.
Thank you, Mr.
Wonderful.
Mr. Literal.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you, wonderful?
Literal, they call him Mr.
I might be literal from now on.
You are.
You'd be in a lot of
Mr.
trouble
Literal.
with a lot of your hyperbole. Hey, it's good. It's good to see you all.
It's good to see you. How are you surviving out in the fairways without me at the moment?
Well, people should know you're out of action because your body, of which you took a lot of care of during your career. You were very careful. You preserved it. You stayed out of contest. It's broken down, and you are nothing but just a worn down battle axe war horse.
You remind me.
You're done.
You remind me of in the height of summer when you see a cicada shell on a tree. It looks like a living thing, but then you look closer and it's just the shell
Been dead for 2
of
years.
someone that used to live inside.
That's you.
That's you. You're a cicada
I'm
shell.
starting to believe that as well.
Not like Swanee over there. She's just fit. You might have transferred some energy from you to her. Because
Maybe
you
that's
are
the way
you
it
are
goes.
you are
You
half a
have
man.
taken all the energy of my energy.
Maybe that's what's happened.
Anyway,
You've had a good life, John.
thank you. Take me out the back paddock.
This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast.
I want some tropical stuff.
Daniel.
I'm obsessed with giving people a sense of the day.
I like it. It's a good, healthy obsession.
You were talking about it earlier, Brownie. Leaked documents reveal Melbourne Football Club, the reigning premiers,
Yes.
were in crisis talks over their coach's behaviour at the start of last year. What is that? On the eve of a premiership-winning season, the club was in turmoil over the behaviour of their coach and what to do. Is that true?
It is true.
It's interesting it's true because, you being a current day pundit for Fox Footy, all of last year, we heard nothing about it from you. All you do is basically just pass it. All you do is read the sport news to us. That's all you do.
Issues canvassed including Goodwin's conduct at the Sereno Hotel workplace, bullying, a health episode during a fan forum that month, and gambling in public.
We can read, mate.
Yeah.
Dino, these
I'm
are
just summing that up for you.
No, you're just reading it. That's all you're doing.
Oh, mate,
That's all you do. You don't give us any scoops. You don't give us any
do
opinion.
we roll out rumours and innuendo?
Yes, other stations do.
No, we don't.
Do start doing it.
We do not. Anyway, Goody, he's a premiership coach.
That's right.
He's a good fella, Simon Goodwin. Obviously, he's got a different style of coaching, and he's then what's that?
Yeah, shots at the Sorrento Pub, apparently.
Exactly.
What my old coach Lee Matthews would have done. Lee would have kept separation from the players.
Absolutely.
Not a wouldn't really get out and party with the players, all those sorts of things. But Goody's a younger coach. He gets around the players and spends a bit more time with them. But there was no doubt he probably just had to straighten things up a little bit as the season got underway last year, and was reminded of that by club officials.
Surely,
and obviously things worked out well.
As you know, I'm no football pundit.
Yeah.
But I assume that football teams are like any group of people. And sometimes to get along and win and triumph, there has to be a bespoke kind of list of things that you do together that works for that specific group of people that wouldn't work for another group of people.
Like shots.
Like shots. Like shots. Like we all get along great, but what we do for fun and, our kind of bonding things and stuff might not work for another group of 10 people.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's worked for these guys.
It absolutely has worked.
Providing the balance is right. So clearly there was enough concern, though, for Gillon McLachlan and the chairman of the AFL, Richard Gorder, to be involved in a hook-up with the Melbourne officials concerning Goody's behaviour at the start of last year. So I think,
Did the premiership save him, John?
Yes.
Absolutely. If they had a bad year last year, he would have been in all sorts of trouble.
Also, it's not a crime to have a few drinks at Sorrento Pub, because if it was, then Jack would be behind bars.
Mate, 10 years for life. Some of the things that goes on there. Hey, this is good news. Australia's border is reopening to reinvigorate struggling tourism. The Prime Minister said borders will reopen to double vaccinated visa holders from the February 21st. As cases and ICU admissions continue to decline.
What does that mean, visa holders? Are they only the people that are Australian that live overseas, or is that just anyone now?
Outsiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's
funny.
good.
I reckon I've just stopped thinking about overseas travel so much that I wasn't actually aware of the state of what's the state of play.
I was actually surprised. I read that. I was surprised that when I read the other day that no outsiders have been coming into the country since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
You'll be fine to get out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did my Esty yesterday for the Super Bowl.
It's going to the Super Bowl. I'm so happy for you.
Naturists, that's right. They're not called nudists. You don't call them nudists. You're called naturists, aren't you?
You say potato, I say potato.
Well, naturists will find out on Tuesday night if their battle to keep stripping down at Mount Eliza Beach has paid off. So there's the sunny side North Beach in Mount Eliza. There's a vote going on to see whether people are to nude up.
You know who lives near there sometimes?
Leper.
Does he?
Yeah, Leper.
That's why he moved
The
there.
orange roughy just strolling down the beach.
Woof. And genuine. Whoa. Pitch a tent down there
Got a big one.
with Leper.
No,
What?
Hollywood Jack. His parents live there.
really?
That's
Hey,
why.
Jack, have you seen any
Is
nude
it? I didn't know there was a nude beach down. Sorry, naturist.
Naturist.
Yeah, it used to be like a fun little afternoon activity after school to go down and spot a schlong.
Yeah,
I just say what everyone's
Spotted
thinking. Can I just say what everyone's thinking? I'm absolutely pro nudist / naturist beach.
Yeah, you should be.
As long as you're hot. What about this? Can I just
Lesson for life.
There's two more things to finish. Lesson for life. One is Cassandra Sainsbury
Cocaine Cassie.
is getting married.
Yes,
Did
she
you know that?
is.
She's shopping for dresses or something.
Is she still in Colombia?
Oh, I don't know about that. Tell you what, though.
I think she is.
Really?
She is.
Can I just say, it'd be a hell of a reception, wouldn't it? Hey, you reckon?
It would be, yeah.
Instead of bouquets of flowers on the tables, just a set of headphones for everyone and just have a good time, everyone.
Imagine the bonbonniere.
That's fine.
What about the photo booth? Would you get the photo?
Oh, mate. That'd be,
Yeah, they'll give you a serial number and you've got to turn to the left, turn to the right.
That's what that would be fun. And finally, a woman has discovered a naked homeless man has been living in the trunk of her car for 3 days, going to the grocery store and to work with her without making any noise at all. He remained silent during that time, riding around with her as she went to work and ran errands.
Oh, my God.
When the man was finally found, and he told her that him being in the trunk was a rite of passage, and he alleged that he was the son of the Pope.
Wow.
This came as no surprise to me. I have been worried about Mick Malloy ever since he stopped doing radio. He needs some structure, and if you see him, just keep an eye on him.
Mick, get out of the booth.
Want to see what happens in the studio? Check it out on Facebook. Follow Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Good morning, Melbourne. Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Over 100.
A couple of nights ago, cooking homemade pizza just up around the kitchen island bench. I love it. So I'm just behind the counter twirling a few pizzas, and the kids are on the other side of the counter just having a bit of a chat as I'm making it.
You are a twirler. You throw them in the air.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I'm a lefty, Molly Duker. So I just throw them up there. I've got it down. I've perfected the simple art.
How did you get any lessons? Or any tips?
My Maltese mate Jeff taught me how to throw them.
When you think of pizza, you think of
Malta. You do. He's very talented at it.
Do you throw them for the method, or is it just to look cool?
No, it actually does. It sort of expands the dough.
Right.
It just spreads it out nicely, and then you just get a better dough. You don't get too thick. So it cooks evenly. Anyway, the kids were there, and Liv was going through. She was doing some maths, and so you got Olivia there, who's 12. She's just started high school. Little Jack, who's 9, and Macy is 7 years old. Sitting there, and she goes, "Dad, you kicked 594 goals."
Jeez, have you ever been prouder?
In 256
Did you say,
games.
did you put the pizza dough down and go straight to the office and change the will details?
Come here. Come here, Liv. Give me a hug.
Come here,
You're my favourite.
Just sign this document.
And I was sort of chuffed. I go, yeah, I did, Liv. But then I was flattened very quickly when obviously maths is not her strong suit. When she said, "Well, that means in my calculations that you kicked 100 goals a season in several seasons." I go, "No, Liv. No, do the basic maths."
She's losing. She's losing him.
Yeah, so I said, "Come on, Liv." I said, "You're in year 7 now."
No.
So you know.
That document.
I'm not plug and lock it.
Yeah.
So she goes, no, you did. I said, do the math. I played for 15 years. If you reckon I've kicked 100 in several years, it doesn't add up to 594 goals. And she looked really perplexed. And then she comes back and she goes, "Well, you at least kicked 100 goals in one of the seasons."
No.
I said, "No." I said, "I know you're trying to make me feel better, but it's okay." I said, "The closest I got was 85 goals in 1 year."
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good for a centre forward, Christine, when I'm not in goal mouth.
Unbelievable.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Keep going.
After the 100, no, I didn't kick 100 goals. 85 goals was the best I did. And obviously, I think little Macy, the 7-year-old, has got a beautiful heart. Yeah. She's looking at me thinking, I'm looking a little bit flat. Yeah. Now, I was more flat the fact that my eldest daughter couldn't do maths correctly. So she thought she'd try and soften the blow. And she looked up at me with love in her eyes and said, "Yeah, Dad, but you do own a pet store."
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Everybody jump in glee. It's Andy Lee. The 100 with Andy Lee returns 9 p.m. to 9 on Channel 9. It's Andy Lee.
Feels new.
It's definitely new. It used to be Informer Snow that you guys would introduce me to. That one sounds like a regional commercial, I think. It sounds like Tank World or something.
For all your used car needs, visit Andy Lee Toyota.
Yeah, exactly.
You haven't been in since July, so we've had plenty of time to come up with a new opener.
Yeah, exactly.
July.
I've been well rested. Obviously, this was a super spreading studio for a while there.
We got it all over and done with, but Sam is still unscathed.
I know, he's on the run.
She's on the run.
And he's ducking and weaving.
Hiding in plain sight, it would seem. I don't know.
I can't believe you've gotten away with it. Did you get it? Did you get the spicy cough, Andy?
Yeah, but I don't think I've even told anyone. This is a scoop for you guys. Yes, I saved the exclusives for you guys. Yeah, Beck and I got
the rest of Victoria except for Sam.
We got it. In fact, Beck and I got it probably at the same event as Brownie. We kept it under wraps, and then when Brownie was front page, I was like, yes. I was like, he has taken all the heat here, and Beck and I, by then, were over it and just lying by the pool in our 10 days last night, reading up about Brownie, the dirty antics he gets up to.
I knew about it. I'm sitting at home in isolation, and Coles goes, I've been talking to Beck, and Andy's got it as well. I go, what a prick. I'm copping all the heat.
Yes.
I was so tempted to out you. Go, Andy Lee's got it as well.
Brownie was one of the first, and it was,
he was like the OG, but actually we were the OG.
It was like a big deal.
Yeah, it was like we were both sitting in the trenches, and I went, hey, Brownie, you just go over, I'll be right behind you, and then just stayed in there.
All right, I should tell you now. I gave it to them. I've been keeping it down. Now,
you're patient zero.
It's good to see. It's good to see because it has been a while.
Yes.
So I like to do a bit of business. I don't know. Yeah. So the 100 is back. Right?
Yes. Well done.
Which last year, season 1, you filmed in Sydney.
Yep.
You went like towards the fire when they were breaking out. You said, I'm going up there.
I called Channel 9 and I said, hey, should we really be shooting this in Sydney? And they're like, Gladys has got it under control. Gladys has got it sorted. And I was like, all right, but it's just, it's 60 today. And then the next day I was like, oh, it's 120 now. Like, Gladys knows how to do this.
Yeah,
all right.
she does.
And by the time I was across the border, they were all in lockdown, and so was I for 3 months.
But you could play golf, though.
No, I know. I didn't take the clubs, which is idiotic of me.
Did you have studio audience last year?
No, we had 3 makeup ladies and 1 wardrobe lady that I told to laugh as loud as possible.
Big laughers. Big laugh. But this season, though, audience.
It's studio audience now, so it's nice. It's not just me adding laughter to all my jokes and forgetting about the other people in the edit. It's actually genuine laughter. You live and die by.
An audience makes such a difference, doesn't it?
Oh
my God,
huge difference.
Amazing.
And it's a worry though so on people who haven't seen the 100, there's 100 people on a big screen, and we can survey them. They represent the cross section of Australia, but one segment is a celebrity guest comes out, faces the 100, and we plonk them on a chair and we ask the 100, do you recognise this person? It can be quite an ego hit to the guest. Because
who are some of the ones?
It's like the Masked Singer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when Watcher goes bananas, starts reading the Wikipedia page.
Well, Michael Bevan. I'm a huge fan of Michael Bevan.
Yeah. So unlike the Masked Singer, we don't try and big it up. It basically goes 22%. Yeah, that's about right.
Yes.
But it's with the studio audience, which is new. The guest comes out and sits there. And when they see the studio audience looking at each other going, who's that? They get an inkling of their popularity before it even begins. But Jackie Lambie's on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And she was very disappointed with the number of people.
Really?
Oh, was she flat?
She was flat, yeah.
I think that we take for granted that we sort of know everyone because we're always, consuming the news.
Yes.
So it always surprises me when people don't recognise people.
Well, I mean, what would you think the Australian Test captain Pat Cummins recall would be when we had him on?
Well, it'd be 80%.
I wouldn't know.
Or second highest office in the land.
Having said that, that's an example where he could walk in here and I'd be is my photocopying done?
I reckon cricketers they've lost how well known they used to be. They felt like there was only 12. Rod Marsh was the wicketkeeper, but now there's so many different forms of the game.
31%.
Oh my God!
Wow.
31%.
And 88% on his dick pic.
No, that was Tim Payne.
Take that back. Yes, exactly.
Hey,
although he's very handsome, Pat Cummins.
Yeah.
So maybe he would have a more popular DP.
He might.
They would have known Tim Payne, though. It would have been 80%.
Tim Payne was 24%.
Really?
Yeah. This is before the scandal.
The pre-photos?
Yeah.
I remember seeing Jackie. The last time I saw Jackie Lambie was around Christmas time, and she was doing the rounds of the media. But she was in the Christmas spirit, and she was dressed as an elf.
What?
Yeah, so she was dressed as an elf doing the rounds, talking about serious political issues at the time, but she was dressed as an elf.
It's like when they ask end of season people in AFL at their Mad Monday sessions serious questions about the season.
It's my favourite.
Dressed as a Smurf or something.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Andy, on the 100, you use a teleprompter, man?
No, I'm terrible at teleprompter, so I just use it coming out of a break just to remind me that, who the guests are. But no, I try to go for memory because when Haim and I started, we would both mouth along with each other's lines. So Channel 7 tried it our first ever show, and as the other person fish mouthed the other person, they kind of went, my turn. So instead of Andy, they went, okay, we got to stop this. So from then, we just started memorising. And,
well, you may not realise, but I only have two superpowers, and one is that I can do amazing pet lookalikes.
Oh, yes.
Like, I can look at your animal and go, that looks like Henry Winkler, and I'm never wrong.
Okay.
That's my one superpower. My second superpower is auto cue. Yeah.
It's a gift, though, isn't it?
It's a gift.
Oh, yeah.
It's a gift.
This dates us a bit, but Hamish and I were on Today Tonight with Naomi Robson. Back in the
Wow.
day. Yeah.
Tony Martin will be right with that reference.
Yeah.
You don't look 75.
No, I know. And she spoke so slowly, but you don't realise when you watch it because, just mesmerised by these current affair type people.
Yeah.
But they speak so slowly. But Hamish and I realise we speak way too quick for teleprompters. It just goes zooms along. Yeah.
Just get Emma or whoever's running it to make it quicker.
I've said to the guys, Jared Healy, work with on the couch, and Foxtel, he's got the teleprompter, and I love when he decides to freestyle it. And then he tries to get back on track and completely butchers it.
Huge error.
Hey, do you want to take on Swanee in the teleprompter game?
Well,
Doesn't
not
seem
particularly,
fair.
but hey, Bradbury, it's the Winter
true.
Olympics at the moment. I could do a Bradbury and come from behind and get it. And I don't get to see it beforehand.
Plus, I just want to
No
see.
way.
I just want to see Andy Lee be bad at something. Like, this is amazing.
Oh yeah, stick around, everybody.
The screen, be smooth, be clean, teleprompter game. It's a teleprompter game.
Alrighty, Swanee, you're going to go first with the teleprompter game. And today you're actually doing sport.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's good. Mix it up a bit.
Absolutely.
Who's first? You going first, Swanee?
I'm
Swan
going to go
goes
first, apparently. Chrissy Killer Swan is queued up on the
just
auto
so
cue.
you know, Andy,
Yeah.
Chrissy this hasn't been given to her. She hasn't pre-read it. It's just
No.
up on the screen cold.
Look how she's so relaxed.
Wait
It
for
is
my heartbeat's
That's all
going.
I'm good at.
Do you know on
There's no
Fox
stakes.
Sports they used to do their own teleprompter with a foot pedal?
They still do. Some of the girls in at work do.
See, I couldn't do that.
So it's like a sewing machine. You just know how
oh
fast
my
it's going.
God, the
And-
Husqvarna method.
And one time, Ben Way, ex-Fox Sports guy, he went down, it snapped, the teleprompter snapped, and it just started spinning as fast as possible.
All right. Swan's got the sport.
Good
Wait
luck.
for my point, Mick, with the prompter.
Checking your sport now with me, Killer Chrissy Swan. You may have noticed I changed my name. Well, technically, my new netball team changed it ahead of my debut game this evening with the Mighty Diamonds because mark my words, suckers, in my debut game tonight, if a hoe fronts on me, my elbow will put her on the floor. That's right. Just to confirm, if a skank wants to dance, I'll fold her like a busted trestle table. Killer loves a fair game, but if someone steps outside the law, I will invert their rib cage. More in sport coming up.
Mate, that
Oh, wow. See, I should have gone first.
Cool as a cucumber. And a few adjectives and bits and bobs added in there, you'll know.
Flair.
Yeah.
You
thank
know,
you.
I'm just letting you know, it doesn't always go like that. Like Browny did it last week, and mate, he lost his.
Well, I
lost-
waited too long. You got to start reading straight away.
Yeah.
Don't
There
wait
you
till
go.
the words
Okay,
get to
okay,
the stop.
Andy, yours is just like an ad for the new show / a bit of info about yourself.
Okay.
All right, so
Nervous.
let's go.
All right. Hello, Melbourne. I've gone too early, but
No.
It's me, celebrity sex tape critic Andy Lee. Please enjoy the second season of my show, The 100, featuring me, 9 p.m. tonight on Channel 9. You know, I didn't always want to be a TV host. Originally, I was a pool shark.
Yeah.
Life for me was travelling from Caravan Park Rec Room to Caravan Park Rec Room, hustling drunk dads out of their savings.
Yes.
Then briefly, before Hamish and I started radio, I was the cash cow. Let me tell you, that inside the cow suit, that inside the... Oh, no.
Gone.
The 100, 9 p.m. tonight on Channel 9. Wow.
You got the plug out, mate. True pro.
He's a company man.
That's right.
Brilliant.
We love you, man.
Who's on the show tonight?
Can't remember. I'm
Great
in
stuff,
awe of... No, it's Tommy Little tonight and Sophie Monk. Jackie Lambie faced the 100. But Chrissy,
Mate.
that is bloody incredible.
It's a superpower. I'm
Yeah.
serious. It's the one thing I'm good at.
Watch out, Peter Hitchener.
9 p.m. Channel 9, The 100.
More
with
like
Andy
watch out,
Lee.
Alan Rascal.
See you soon.
Do you want to see what this looks like? Well, get the visuals on Instagram. Follow Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
Just wanted to say welcome back to Ash Gardner. Yeah, man, the steady hand of a gardener there is always, it's always a comfort when you look through the booth and you see Ash there. Welcome back, Ash.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
You almost single-handedly brought down the building with your spicy cough.
I was one of the last to get it.
What?
I was one of the last in this building to get it.
Cats behave.
How many cats are in that booth?
There's 6 here. There's a few more at home. The smell is awful.
Yeah, that's not the cats. All right, listen, I wanted to say something. Before you went away, you know when there's a lot of white noise in this, world. So sometimes, especially with gardening, the amount of times at the end of a show I ask you, Swanee, what's the temperature today? And I'm going, yeah, Ash has told us 9 times during the previous, but whatever.
It's right there on the screen in front of you as well.
I did before Ash got sick and went away. I was listening and I heard she was doing a traffic report, which for me seemed to go on. You know when you go, she's doing the traffic report, and then you go, hold on, she's still doing the traffic report. Yeah. Have a listen to this traffic report. This was from a couple of Mondays ago, where before Ash got sick. Have a listen to this traffic report from Ash Gardner.
Melbourne traffic.
Nova 100.
Glenferrie Road, Kooyong is closed between Toorak and Riversdale Roads for tram works until January 29. Traffic light issues in Laverton and Altona affecting Corroy Creek Road. Works in Kooyong. Glenferrie Road is closed between Toorak Road and Riversdale Road. Use Auburn Road instead. The Monash is heavy in both directions due to works between Eastlink and Warrigal Road. The Pakenham bypass is heavy in both directions through Officer due to works. Works are underway, so the ramp from the Westgate Freeway inbound to Williamstown Road closed, while the ramp from Williamstown Road to the Westgate Freeway inbound is closed. Melbourne's weather humid and mostly sunny, 33 the top today.
Is it just me, or are there a lot of works going on after 2 years of COVID? Shouldn't these works have been done during the last 2 years?
Spot on, Pam.
Oh, my God.
And did she repeat something?
Yeah, I did. And sometimes also, because I also read credits, and sometimes they'll put ads in about the roadworks that have also been mentioned in the traffic.
Oh, no.
So sometimes there is a double up if I'm not really careful.
Oh, well, just, fix that. Unprofessional. But I'm just going, oh, my God.
In general, I just don't like traffic reports, and I just don't think that they're important.
Ash, your thoughts?
Yeah, but in fairness, though, we don't have traffic. There's a lot of people out on the road.
I spent many years in peak hour traffic. It doesn't mean you're in it. You're in it.
Well, guess what? It's bumper to bumper on the Monash today. Do
Yeah,
you reckon? Don't you
every
think?
morning.
Every morning.
So what is the point?
So
of it?
you ever done a traffic report where it's like, all clear, everyone. Have a great day.
Never.
It was during COVID.
Well, that's a good point. Anyway, it's almost a hard-hitting editorial for me. I just thought, wow, that's a lot of road works.
It's
for
a lot of
city.
road works, and I got stuck in that Glenferrie Road one. That was annoying.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
And I am driving a small Batmobile in the style of Angry Anderson.
Just a little one.
How are you, Tone?
It's such a thrill to have live guests in again.
Yeah,
we've just had Andy Lee.
I just bumped into Andy Lee, and Andy and Hamish, they were the people who actually got me back into radio years ago.
What do you mean?
Well, I was on Mark Malloy in the 90s, and then I didn't do radio for 7 years. I thought, I'm never going to go back. And then they got me into their early Saturday morning show. Mm-hmm. They were just starting out, and for some reason, I can't remember why, but for a full hour, they had me singing the theme song to All Together Now with John English.
One of the greats.
And that was so much fun, I just suddenly decided to go back to radio. So I always blame Hamish and Andy and the theme to All Together Now.
Wow, we've got so much to thank those two funsters for.
Yesterday was your hair so long. Sorry, I'm going back into it.
Yes, that's right.
I was trying to remember it.
Yeah, because I only know the chorus. All together now.
One of the crowd shouted out loud.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything, Dino?
I don't think it's coming back.
No.
Jane Hall was, she was one of the stars.
She was in there.
Really? And Gibbo, Rebecca Gibson.
Gibbo, yes.
Stephen
Jacobs.
The bloke who said Chicky Babes all the time.
Chicky Babes.
Bruno Lucia.
That's him.
Oh, my God.
It's a time tunnel, this show.
That was in my That was in my hitting zone as a kid. Yeah,
Really?
that was on, yeah.
Yeah,
May I offer you a tidbit?
Oh, please do.
We had the great John English on set on The Circle.
Right.
And I think my opening line to him was, "Gosh, you've been married for 30 years. You know, what's your secret to a long relationship?" To which he said, "Yeah, no, me and Faye broke up about 2 months ago." And that's not what you want on live television, is it? Live.
No, it's exactly what you want. You get out of that one. By
Thanks
throwing
for
to a
good-
break.
It's a good clip.
Exactly.
It's a good clip. Like, I tell you who provides good clips, Tim Smith.
Yes.
And I've been told he's returned. He's returned to Parliament this morning.
Are we talking about the comedian Tim Smith or the car crusher Tim Smith?
Yeah, the politician has he's back in Parliament this morning. They say the front wall should be rebuilt by the weekend. I'm surprised that the comedian Tim Smith has not capitalised more.
Absolutely.
On the unfortunate coincidence.
I would.
How is it, by the way, you know, it was all over at the end of last year. Remember, he was retired from leaving Parliament.
Yes.
So how is he back?
Well, I think he's still got to serve out
He's got to serve out his term.
That's right. He can't just,
He was relegated to the backbench.
Yeah.
And then obviously there hasn't been an election, so
Relegated to the backbench is just like a stint. It's just like a stint in the reserves. Isn't
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man, you're
It
playing in the
is.
seniors, you're out of form. I'll just go back to the reserves for a little while.
Absolutely.
Just stay there until everyone forgets.
Okay. What else has been going on?
I haven't seen you for a full week.
Well, here's what happened to me yesterday. I was down in St Kilda and a bloke just scooted up next to me on a BMX and just said, "Mate, I see a place around here giving out free food. Have you seen that? Have you used that free food?" And I've gone, "What are you talking about?" He's going, "Oh, it's a religious place. Religious place that's giving out free food." And I'm going, "Well, is it there's a synagogue round the corner?" And this is what he said. I'd never heard this phrase before. He's gone, "Nah, mate, it's not at the Gogue."
The Gogue.
The guy goes, "Yeah, I've been the Gogue, mate. It's shut. There's no free meals here. There's no sandwiches."
The Gogue.
And then I've gone, "Well, there's another one. I think there's another one further down Alma Road." He's gone, "Second Gogue." And then he scooted off to investigate Gogue 2.
How would you spell Gogue? Like as in synagogue? Would you put the UE on the end?
It feels like
G-O-G-U-E?
it feels like it would just be G-O-G, but now because would it be Gogue if it was with UE on the end?
I feel like you've got to be respectful and put the UE on the end.
Gogue 2 sounds like a Jason Statham movie.
Yes.
Jason
The second
Statham.
Gogue.
In the Gogue 2.
Second Gogue. How many movies has I'm always on here talking about, Nicolas Cage. He's done 3 since the last time I was on.
Yeah.
The Razzie nominations came out.
What
today.
are those for those who
Well,
don't know?
I haven't. Well, the Diana movie musical, which is that really a movie? It's sort of a filmed Broadway show on Netflix. That's got the most nominations.
Right.
I
It's
have
sort
to
of the antithesis of the Oscars.
A celebration of bad movies for the year. Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Performances.
But Bruce Willis has been nominated as worst actor for 8 movies.
It's amazing.
He's
this
made
is-
8 movies
You know,
in
we
the
went-
last year, and he's been nominated for all of them.
Very
went through-
comprehensive review by Sam the other
We
day.
went through it last week, Tone.
Really?
Not on a day you weren't here.
Right.
Where I know that with Nicolas Cage, through you and Ross Noble in this show, have really, we put him under the microscope for the last 10 or 15 years.
Sure.
But Bruce Willis is the new Cage.
Yeah.
Cage was actually during COVID, he did 2 or 3, one of which called Pig was critically acclaimed.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
And meanwhile, Bruce Willis is slowly just racking up the stinkers. He just 8 that we'd never heard of and sounded terrible.
What happened to him? He used to be so amazing.
I don't know, but Nicolas Cage, Bruce Willis, Jason Statham. Hey, Steven Seagal, why so tardy?
Correct.
He's got to get back in the game.
You got some catching up to do,
Mate,
Seagal.
letting them down.
Tones here.
This is the Chrissy, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Yeah, morning Melbourne, Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Nova 100. Tony Martin.
Yeah, I understand, Sam, you've got the
Tone.
list of Bruce Willis films.
Survive the Game, Out of Death, Cosmic Sin, Deadlock, Midnight in the Switchgrass, Fortress, and Apex.
No.
Like you said, we've heard of none of these
No.
films. They're Bruce Willis films.
Midnight in the Switchgrass sounds good.
Yeah, when
I agree.
I'm watching that.
I agree. That sounds good.
It sounds like
Critically acclaimed, that one.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an art house one. Fortress, of course. Fortress is a early 90s Australian film.
Who was in that?
Featuring Christopher Lambert.
Christophe Lambert.
That's correct.
Highlander.
And Highlander, and in a tiny role.
Greystoke, the Legend of Tarzan.
That was him. Warwick Capper was played brain dead prisoner in the film Fortress.
Oh my God.
Oh, God. Is there audio tone we need to
I
hear?
think I've told this story before. I was working with Warwick Capper and some people came up to him and said, "Have you been in a movie?" He goes, "Yeah, I was in Fortress. It's in Fortress." And they go, "Who are you?" And he goes, "Oh, Tony Martin, you know, who was I?" And I've gone, "You were the brain dead prisoner, Warwick." And he's gone, "Yeah, I was a brain dead prisoner." And then, like, all day, I just heard him saying to people, "Yeah, I was a brain dead prisoner in Fortress."
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Every word true.
Man, your Kappa is outstanding.
It's a good Kappa.
Oh, everyone. It's just...
No, we don't.
I enjoyed working with Warwick Capper. Is one of those people who just everything that occurs to him comes out of his mouth.
Yes.
There is no filtering system.
Yeah.
Tone, what have you made of the Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan's been in the news, the biggest podcast in the world.
That's right. He's on Spotify, and people are saying that his podcast should be taken down because of offensive content. And what I say is, if that is the case, why is Sizzletown not being taken off Spotify? Because we have more offensive and misleading theories than even the Joe Rogan podcast.
I agree.
We are claiming that we started the theory that nanobots are being put into the vaccine.
Yes.
We started that as a joke. It's now the cause of actual protest marches in Canberra. We started the theory that the reason you find a New Zealand coin and you change occasionally is because it's a stealth attempt by New Zealand to take over our currency. We started the theory that there's only a 29th of February every fourth year because the government is hoarding 29th of Februaries to deploy at will in the future.
These
for
are
unknown.
dangerous ideas.
We started the theory that if you watch every single show on Netflix, you get to see a secret show on Netflix that's the best Netflix show ever, a combination of Squid Game, The Crown, and Making a Murderer. I've been asked in the street whether...
First series of Making a Murderer.
That's right. I've been asked in the street whether that's true. Really? I've had people, not the man who came up to me and said, "Where's the Gogue?"
Yeah.
I've had people say, "Is that true if you watch every show?"
And what did you say? What do you
I'd say,
possibly
yes,
answer?
of course it's true.
Oh, of course.
You've got to watch all of Greenleaf. There's a lot to get through.
You do have to listen to all of Sizzletown. It is so good.
Yeah, now look, it's a talkback show where I play the host and all of the characters, but as a result, we do get a lot of complaints about diversity, the lack of diversity on the show. Of
course.
In fact, we had someone from the Podcast Diversity Council, also played by me, call up and say, why is it mostly white men?
Yeah.
So now in the 5th year of the show, we have introduced some diversity. I've just got a quick, if you've got a clip we can play. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, my name is Kraitog.
Kraitog?
Kraitog Karabashika.
Right. What accent is that?
Yes,
Where are you from?
I'm from the region of Overseasica.
Overseasica?
Overseasica, yes, in Europe.
Europe, right.
That's it, yeah.
In what region?
The region, the ill-defined region.
Okay, well,
that's it.
what are you calling about?
I'm complaining in this call.
Right. What about?
I'm unimpressed by the thing I heard on this show.
You heard...
there was...
what did you hear?
Criticizing of Scotch.
Of what?
Scotch.
Scotch?
Scotch Morrison.
Oh, Scott Morrison. Right, yeah, just mentioned.
Yeah, somebody was despising him.
Well, we invite all opinions, and well, he's a divisive figure.
No.
No. You don't agree?
No, you're talking about Scotch.
So what's your view? You're more favourable to his approach?
I don't know. What does he do?
What does he do?
What does he do?
Well, he's the Prime Minister. How do you know him?
I don't know from... I saw him on the cricket.
Oh, on the cricket.
He was very funny. Good one, Scotch, someone remarked.
Well, that's great.
Wait, go back. You say... He is the
What?
The president, you say?
The Prime Minister, yeah.
The whole country is Scotch.
Yes, he is.
Really? How did that happen?
Oh, sorry, it gets a bit more offensive after that. But yeah, so we've finally some diversity at
Thank
last.
God that you're showing someone from overseas.
Exactly. Overseas is very underrepresented.
Absolutely.
Nova.
Chrissy Swan, Sam Pang, and Jonathan Brown.
Chrissy's Celebrity Star.
Jackie Woodburn, a.k.a. Susan Kennedy. If I was her, I would change my name to Susan Kennedy by deed poll. Just get it over and done with. Same with Dr. Carl.
Yeah.
Change your name. That's who you are now. Appeared on The Project last night to talk about the huge challenge ahead of the writers of Neighbours, which looks like it's going to finish production in June. The huge challenge ahead of them to try and tie up all those loose ends.
Would you want to be a writer in that room trying to wind up a show after 38 years in a way that's going to please everybody? I mean, no pressure at all. But I know that everyone wants to honour the show and do it with love and with pride and dignity. So it will be big, but I think it will maintain all of those touchstones that have been so important to us.
Is that a slight Scottish accent on her? And if so, have they ever explained when and why Susan Kennedy moved from Scotland? Maybe it was for love.
If they can explain how Sean Connery was the Scottish Sean Connery was the head of the Russian Navy in
That's
100
true.
October, that would be
There's an
easy
explanation for everything.
So how are they going to wrap it up?
I don't know.
Geez, they'll have some fun though, the writers. They'll be loving this. It's a pot of gold for them. Some of the ideas.
A bittersweet task.
Jonestown massacre situation.
Yeah, barbecue.
That's what I suggested.
Did you?
Yeah, I said just a slow panning with everyone in black Nikes in Erinsborough on Ramsay Street. Brownie took it one step further and said, what about everyone stuck in quicksand?
Ramsay Street.
Wow, that's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Then it leaves it.
Who
they
gets
could come
out?
back.
That's it.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissy, Sam and Brownie on Instagram. One man, many questions.
Why, when you blow out the candles, the air that comes out is cold, but if you pant, it is hot?
What's that smell you can smell before it rains? If you're opening a door, but you see someone behind you, how far away do you have to wait so you keep it open for them?
Have all the answers.
I run on me face.
Ask Brownie.
13 24 10, your chance for an audience with the big fella. I've got a question for you, Brownie. On the weekend at the Burundara Farmers Markets, I bought a punnet of these magnificent cherry tomatoes, and there was 3 different colours: red ones, green ones, and orange ones. The green ones look exactly like an unripe red cherry tomato. So how do you know that they're ripe?
Say that again. The green.
You know how you get the green cherry tomatoes?
Yes.
Perfectly ripe. It's a different varietal. But they look just like a red tomato because, you know, red tomatoes start off as green before they're ripe. How do you know the difference between a ripe green tomato and an unripe red tomato?
How do you know the difference?
Does that make sense?
16 minutes to 9.
Yes. Well, as a
no, it doesn't.
prominent tomato farmer,
You are a tomato man.
I think it comes down to the fact that one may be a determinate variety and one may be an indeterminate variety, Christine.
I'll ask you what that means later. Alison from Beaconsfield. Alison.
I just made that up to bamboozle.
Hi.
Ali.
Go for it, Ali.
In golf, where did they, or how did they come up with birdie, par, bogey, double bogey? Where did they come from?
Thank you very much for the call, Alison.
Is that a plant?
The great game. No, it's not a plant. I believe it was back in, the game was invented back in Scotland many centuries ago. Of course, the home of golf was St Andrews, yes. And you'll find that in the...
You'll find you're in poor form.
No,
you can't
I'm
even.
not.
You're not even.
In the Scottish,
you're not even stalling well anymore.
In the Scottish language,
obviously,
which I can't remember what the native tongue of the Scotsman, what the official term of it is. I believe that eagle is an excellent hole. A birdie is a very good hole, A bogey is an average hole, and a double bogey is a poor hole. That's the translation in Scottish. They're the words.
No way. That's just not right.
That is correct.
But an eagle is a bird.
I know an eagle's a bird, but what's a par? That's not a bird. I'm saying an eagle is an excellent hole, because very rarely you get an eagle. Sam, how many eagles have you had in your career?
Oh, too many to count, John. But I tell you what,
You've had about two.
We'll actually get the right. What's that segment we do where Brownie actually goes back and tidies up? We go back and tidy up his wrong
Revisit
answers.
it. Ask Brownie.
I'll stand by that answer, Alison. Thank you very much.
Ask Brownie answered. We'll add it to
Sorry,
the list.
Alison.
Alison, you're off to Amy Shaw. No worries. Double pass. VIP show at Amy Park.
That's $2,000 worth.
Good question. Shocking answer.
Great answer.
Amy Shark's Cry Forever
I don't
tour.
understand it.
Rod Lever Arena.
Understand his answer.
March 4.
It's nonsensical.
Okay.
Limited tickets left. Head to amyshark.com.au. Let's go to Carolyn in Clyde North. What the hell's your question?
Hi, guys. It's doing my head in and I can't sleep at night. Watching the Buddy Bet ad on TV, I need to know who the groom in the ad is.
Ah.
Familiar?
Thank you, Carolyn. That is none other than former footballer, former Carlton and Gold Coast footballer, Daniel Gorringe, and I believe a star of Big Brother as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, Big Brother.
Is that ringing bells for you, Carolyn?
It definitely is, yes.
He was
now I can sleep. Thank you.
Good answer.
He was a ruckman, Carolyn, and he didn't play a hell of a lot of games. He might have played 50-odd games, and you may notice the father of the bride, or certainly someone involved in the wedding, as you walk down, is none other than the great Carlton legend, Sticks Kernan.
That's big.
Yep, I noticed him.
Who's been in here, Swanee? Do you remember Sticks?
Of course I do. How could you forget an audience with Sticks?
Surprisingly, considering the timbre and the voice of the great Stephen Kernahan.
Yes.
No lines for Stephen in that ad.
No, he's a bit unlucky there.
They've missed there.
They've missed.
Give him something to
He's
do.
charging too high for words.
Strong hair.
Carolyn.
Oh, the strongest hair in the biz.
Oh, God.
Amy Shark tickets, and you're in the running for 50K Friday. Nice job. All right, let's go to Baldwin. Danny.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Your phone's terrible. Cannot continue.
What a shame.
Cannot continue. Well, should we try again? Shall I put it on hold? All right.
Can I ask the question, though, if you want, Dino?
Oh, yeah. Is
On
it
behalf of
illegal?
Danny.
Is it illegal to flash your lights to warn other cars about a
yes.
cop down the road?
Is
John.
it?
I believe it is legal.
It is legal?
It is legal. So it should be, I think.
I believe it is legal.
I think it should be legal.
Because
Do you think it shouldn't be legal? I think it's a really good service.
Why should it be legal?
Because the whole point of speed cameras or
Yes,
the
enforcing
mobile
speed,
thing
yes.
is to get people to slow down.
For safety purposes.
It's not about revenue raising. So if your flashing lights causes somebody to slow down, then that's a great service for everybody.
Slow down until they see the cop car, and then on the other side of the car, just really ramp it up again.
Well, no, they
Is that
might
the
be
idea?
reminded. They
It's
might
just
be.
flashing of
Oh
lights, because
God!
we all presume that flashing of the lights to warn you that a police car up ahead is illegal, but I believe it's actually illegal.
And the
You're
end
allowed
game
to
is
do
to
that.
get people to slow down.
Like speed cameras, that's why.
Correct.
It's the same as putting a sign up to say speed camera ahead.
Yes.
I
Slow down.
thought the flashing of the lights was to inform the other car that their lights were not on.
That you can also
You
use
can
it
also
for that.
use that as a warning. It's
Yeah.
a safety thing.
Yeah.
Danny.
Like your horn, Sam.
Multiple uses.
Thank you, Danny, for the question.
Good to have you
My
back.
pleasure. Thank you.
Danny, you're off to Amy Shark, and you could win Nova's 50K Fridays, friend. How cool's that, huh?
That is phenomenal.
Hey, next week. What's that? Tuesday. You're not here next week, are you?
It won't be a Tuesday.
What are we going to do? Should we do? I'll do ask one of us.
Yeah.
Ask Pangy.
Happy.
Or ask Dino.
Easy. Boring.
Ask Dino, please. Can we?
Hey, will you give me the permission to do your segment?
Of course I will, Dino. Looking forward to it. I'll be on the plane on the way over. Do you need me to give you some tips?
Yeah, we'll do it off air.
I got to say this.
Use obviously.
Yes, use obviously a lot.
And thank them for the question.
And just community service announcement. You're not imagining it. The answer to the golf question was one of the worst
Oh, my
on
God.
record.
No, you
So
didn't
bad.
understand it. You didn't understand it because you don't...
No, because it was a muddle of words that bear no relationship to each other.
Apologise to Melbourne.
What is an eagle? What is an eagle in golf?
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie.
My group WhatsApp's been going off this morning. There is a Diamonds 2022 WhatsApp group, of which I am a member. I don't know any of the numbers apart from 1 or 2 in there.
Hey, the Diamonds are your netball team, by the way.
Tonight I'm going to meet Sarah C, George, Jacinta, Ali, Christy, Mary, Chrissy and Gab. I know Gab and Ali and Jacinta.
Nervous?
When you say you're meeting them, in what capacity?
On the court! Yes. See you in court, Pang!
Are you playing?
Yeah, we want to know. Are you participating or are you sitting on the bench? Because you just said you were going to go and watch.
I have said I'm just watching tonight.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Listen, I'm very old. And I have not played in 30 years. I don't know the rules.
Get out there.
No, I don't want to bring the team down by stepping.
Have they got enough...
by indulging in obstruction.
They got enough players?
Yes, they've got 8, and I think there's only 7 on a team. I think I'm going to be called up tonight. Is the thing, but
as a reserve,
if I spend the first 3 quarters of the game going, oh, that's right. I'm hoping that I go, oh, that's right. You got to catch it and you can't move.
Pivot.
You got to pivot. I think you can take one step, can't you?
You can take a step.
But you can't lift your foot off the ground.
Travel.
Pivot foot.
If you watch it, the first half, you'll absolutely click.
It'll come back to me?
Of course.
Well, look, I've got all the gear.
Wow.
And no idea.
All the gear and no idea. That is absolutely me. I have all the gear. I've got my gloves so that my manicure stays fair. I've organised a new pair of netball shoes. Yes, they're a thing.
Goggles?
No. I've got a boob armour.
Smart.
Have you heard of them?
No, but I'm happy to get one.
It's a boob armour.
What about deep heat? You got the deep heat ready?
Yes.
What else?
Ankle braces.
Yeah, you're going to strap up?
You got crook ankles.
Well, crook ankles. I'm not going to strap up. No.
Gloves seem a bit too much.
But I can't ruin these nails. Are you joking?
No, go with the gloves. That's all right.
Pickle juice.
Helmet.
Yes, I've got pickle juice.
Got a helmet.
Yes.
You're ready to go.
You got a helmet. You don't have a helmet, do you?
I'm ready to go. Yeah, no, I've got a cage, a custom-built cage that I'm going to wear.
Do they drug test?
They do. I do. So that's why I got your weed.
Tina won't be able to even come and watch.
No. Anyway, I'll fill you in tomorrow. I may need to play. I'm hoping I don't need to. I'm hoping this is just a fact-finding mission.
All the best. But I hope you do get some minutes.
To be clear, you will be ready in case you do get called up. You're not just going to go with jeans on and go, oh, I don't have my gear.
No, I will be ready. And I want a solemn promise from all of you that there's no plans afoot to be at the game, because if you're there, I'm going home.
I could not think of anything worse in my life.
Fabulous.
We'll have to turn up to a game when you're actually playing, though.
No.
We're not going to sit there to watch you sitting in the grandstands.
No.
We won't be there.
Thank you.
You have my word.
Oh, no, I knew I didn't have to ask you.
I will never watch you play that game.
Useless friend.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie. Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissy, Sam and Brownie. Oh, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.